Hello crafty friends, this is the Paper Chef here. In today's Ink It Up tutorial, I thought it would be fun to give you a sneak peek of some items from our upcoming holiday catalog, which will be released in August 2021. We're going to create this card. This has a pool party background and a cherry cobbler candy cane element here, little stocking, a couple pieces of designer series paper, and then something that you can get currently, peace, love, and joy. So the sentiment itself is from the Inspired Thoughts stamp set, which is available right now in our annual catalog. The annual catalog was released in May. We have an upcoming holiday catalog, and I was able to get a hold of some of these really amazing products from the upcoming holiday catalog because I earned an incentive trip. And these items aren't even released to demonstrators yet. In fact, they won't even be released to demonstrators, and I'm not even sure if they will be during the month of July, during what's called our pre-order. I'm not sure about that because we haven't even seen what's going to be in the pre-order yet. So you're getting a pre-sneak peek of something that very few others have, only those who attended the incentive trip or they got stuff in the mail. So this is going to be fun to get to see a sneak peek of some products, and I also created a couple other cards. I hope I have time to show you how I created those other cards as well. Now we're going to, let me just see if I have, because I'm not allowed to show you the inside of catalogs, but I can show you any of the products that I got on the trip. So what I did is I taped it shut, and it's been tattered because I've been reading this so much. See, so I taped it shut so I don't show you the inside. So it's called the July to December mini catalog. However, this catalog is not going to be coming out until August due to, we had some shipping delays, so it's actually going to be, so when you look on the back, it says, no, I guess they got this part. They got this part on the back right, believing, yeah, this says August to January now. That's correct. That part's correct. But this part, that it's July to December, it's actually going to be August to December. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Now, next month, demonstrators get to pre-order products from this. I'm not sure, in a couple days, we're going to get to find out what we're allowed to pre-order. So hopefully I can pre-order more of these things. So one of the products that I shared when I was on the incentive trip to Maui, was this candy cane background stamp. You may be familiar with some background stamping techniques that I've taught on this channel, because right now we are using the background stamp a lot in this Butterfly Brilliance series that I have going on. So if you've missed that, check out the Butterfly Brilliance series. We just created all these cards and we embossed some backgrounds. We also used a background stamp, and we also used the Stamparatus. So that part, this one's not done yet, but that's a work in progress, but these are the cards. These are the cards we finished. Now that course, that Butterfly Brilliance course, also uses the Stamparatus. What's nice about the Stamparatus stamping positioning tool is there's a couple plates. So although I'm using this butterfly a lot, I just left it mounted because there's a couple plates. So now I mounted the candy cane the same exact way. So to get from the box to this, when you first open it up, this is just a one background stamp. It's a cling stamp. When you open it up, it's a big piece of rubber. And then you can put the sticker on if you want to put the sticker on. The sticker just helps you know which way the patterns are going. But in this case, it doesn't matter. They're going all each which way. But if you wanted to make sure that you had the sticker on so that you know that this upside down candy cane is in that corner, you could put the sticker on, although the stamp itself would have stuck to the Stamparatus plate without doing that. Okay, so that was step one. Now there's the stamp. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the background that we need to make first. So we're going to make the background in what's called cherry cobbler. So the cherry cobbler color. Okay, for a couple of reasons. Candy canes look good in cherry cobbler. They also look good in poppy parade and real red. They look good in different colors. However, we're going to use cherry cobbler because it's one of the coordinating colors with the designer series paper that you're going to get a sneak peek of. Then we're going to take the stockings from the designer series paper and use the Stockings Dies. They're called Stockings Dies to cut out this stocking, and we're going to use this piece here, this really nice stitched element, to cut out the background that we need with the candy cane. So after we create the background element, we're going to cut it out with the mini cut and emboss machine that's over here. And we're going to cut out this element. Then we're going to use something from our annual catalog, because I'm not just using this from the annual catalog. This little die comes from the annual catalog too. It works perfect for the peace, love, and joy. So we're gonna create the sentiment that way. And this here, the card itself is also, it's already a pre-made card. I didn't even have to make the card. It looks like snow falling already. I'm going to show you where I got that card. And that's also from the annual catalog. So we're going to do a combination of things you can get now and things that you can't get until the catalog is released. So let's move some space. Let's make some space, I should say. So this is the Stamparatus. I've already mounted the stamp. So we're gonna just ink up. We're gonna get strips of paper, and I'm using the basic white. And the reason I'm using strips of paper is because I needed to make sure I made them about 3.5 inches, see, so that they would fit into the mini cut and emboss machine later, and this element as well fits into the mini cut and emboss. So we're gonna put that right down there, right there. And you can use the magnet. There's a magnet to hold your paper, but you don't want you want to make sure before you ink up your stamp, see, that the magnet just hit that. So what you want to do is you want to make sure, let's move this out of the way, a little bit up. See, I'm going to move the magnet down so that it's out of the way. I'm going to leave the magnet down there so that when I use the background stamp, okay, that the magnet is out of the way and that the stamp has room to touch the paper. Okay, what's really nice about this is that you can, if your candy canes don't quite get inked correctly the first time, you can go back and ink your candy canes to get them to have this really nice crisp look. It took me 2 or 3 tries to get these candy canes to have that nice crisp look. And I see some of you are joining me live, which is awesome, and I'll say hi to you in just a minute. I just want to get a little bit of adhesive and make sure this paper doesn't slip, because it's really important. Now, you could put more magnets around, but I'm not going to put more magnets around. I'm just going to go like this with my Seal Plus adhesive on the back of that paper. I just like to do that because it's not just a matter of magnets. Sometimes the ink, when you put it on the basic white paper, right, the ink itself is wet. It makes the paper stick. So when you lift this back up, the paper wants to come up with it. Magnets are not. And also for the fact that I don't want to put magnets all over because it's a background stamp and they'd get in the way. So if you just join me, this is what we're making. We're going to make a sweet stockings card, and it's a holiday catalog exclusive preview that you're getting here on YouTube, because these items haven't even been released to demonstrators yet. I was able to get these products on the Maui trip, the Maui incentive trip. So I'm opening up my cherry cobbler. It's nice and juicy. I re-inked it and ink's coming out the sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to use cherry cobbler for the background stamp. We're going to turn the stamp over. Let's keep that from getting too, but I'm going to give you something to look at. So we'll put that there, and you can just watch me sort of as I do this. I'm just going to ink this up. Right, I don't need to ink up the entire thing because I really am concerned about this middle part, but you can ink up the entire thing, but I'm just going to more like sort of ink it up the middle. No sense wasting it, because really all I need is this piece that's going to be this wide, right? That's all I need. I love background stamps too, and I can't wait to try this in different colors. I plan on doing this in real, right now I'm using cherry cobbler, but I can't wait to see how the different candy canes look in all, I mean, they look in any color, right? Peppermint candy canes and all the different kinds of greens. Imagine granny apple green or old olive with the candy canes. Real red, poppy prayed. I'm just thinking of like one thing that'd be fun to do is a video just like experimenting with the different colors. You can create background stamps with the candy canes in the different colors. Okay, so let's lower it down and see how it goes. Remember, I'm not trying to create a card background now. I'm trying to create an element for a card. So I don't need it to cover my whole thing. So if it looks faded on the sides, that's on purpose, because I'm trying to just ink down the middle. Okay, beautiful. It came out good. Now it's not as crisp as my sample. Here's my sample, because in my sample, I did it a couple times to get it to really be crisp. You could leave it like that. It looks fine. The candy canes are awesome. But I like to have them really crisp. So we're going to try it again. Lower that down. And we might need to do it 3 times, but I think, yeah, I'm going to see it's really good right here, but the top is not as crisp. So we'll just do, all you need to do is put ink in the part you want to touch up. You don't need to touch up the bottom really, just the top. So I'm fine with that. So there's my background, very sweet, and there we go. So that's what we have. There's a little bit of adhesive back there, so I'm going to just lift this up. Just See? Can you hear that sound? I'm lifting it up gently because I don't want to rip my paper. There's a little bit of adhesive back there that kept my paper from slipping. These are just some tips and tricks. You can use painter's tape and other things to keep it from slipping. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the cherry cobbler. And we're going to now die cut the element we need. And now we can just, I can shut this or just put it off to the side now. To get this off, you just wash it. That's it. Just wash this in the sink. Your platform I'm talking about. You just wash it. I mean, you can use loads and loads of baby wipes if you want, right? Or you could just wash it. So Yvonne says, hello, Kim, or hi, Kim. Excited to see the holiday catalog. Oh, yeah, you're getting some other sneak peeks, not just these ones. Not just the products I'm using, but you're going to get some other sneak peeks, too. Okay, and I'm glad you're excited to say it. Paula, hello, Paula. And watching from Wyoming, good. It's not as late there as it is on the East Coast. Okay, hello, Nigar. Glad you caught me live. And Maria, yeah, this background stamp is awesome. I love it, too. And it's just going to be, I can't wait to make this in other colors. And hello, Lori from Ohio. Awesome. All right, well, I don't want to shut this. I'm going to put it over here. Now we're going to take the mini cut and emboss machine, and we're going to make our card element. Okay? So we're just going to, we're opening up the mini. We're opening it up. It's very portable. We're going to stick the little sandwich in there. So this is platform 1. We're cutting a die. So it's platform 1, right? And then it tells you what to use. It says platform 1, and then it says use the 2 cutting plates number 2. So I'm going to use cutting plate number 2. There's number 2, right? And then an extra number 2 on top. And when you put your dies in, you're not going to put them in straight. Like don't do this and try to stick them in flat, because they go better if you sort of stagger them a little bit like that when you put them in the die cutting machine. So we're going to go ahead and use a little bit of painter's tape for this one to make sure that this background stamp doesn't move. And right now I'm using, dun, 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 the Stockings Dies. The Stockings Dies are part of a new suite that is coming out in the holiday catalog, and also called, well, it's also called the July to December Junior catalog, but again, it's not coming out in July. But I do need to know this month who I'm sending catalogs to in July. They are making us send, I mean, we do have to close up our mailings by June. You're going to get it in the mail, but you can't order from it till August. Okay, so the Sweet Stockings suite is in there. The dies coordinate with the designer series paper. So we're going to cut out some stockings from the designer series paper to embellish the middle of our card. And a little star as well. Okay, so this is this great little stitched element. We're going to put the little sandwich on top. I mean the extra cutting plate too. And I'm going to roll it through. You can roll it either, yeah, I'm right-handed, but I'm rolling it with my left right now, just so I don't block. I think I need to stagger a little more so it catches, just so I don't block the view of the camera. Okay, my camera might shake a little as I try to get this to go, hey, go in, catch. See how I had to push it in a little bit for it to catch? Your machine's not broken if it's doing this warpy thing, or if it makes cracking noises. That doesn't mean it's broken. It does warp and it makes weird noises, and it's amazing that it even works. Hear that noise? You're like, oh gosh, I just really broke something. It makes a lot of noise, and it gets warped, but that's why I do different things and move these plates around in different directions. But there we go. Dun, dun, dun. We have our stitched element for the back of our card. Okay, so that's the candy cane background stamp. Now let's put the card, let's start looking at the other pieces of the card. We'll do the stockings. I'll show you the whole pack of designer series paper when I have a little more room on my table, but there's the Sweet Stockings suite has this paper, and what I've done is I cut the paper so that I could fit it in this machine, right? They cut it in strips. It was 12 by 12 paper. This is the back. We're going to use a little scrap of that for this cute little element here to make this little background banner. So that's the Evening Evergreen with the sort of color bumblebee. So we're going to take, let's put this there and make stockings. So there's 3 stockings, and they fit perfect with the designer series paper. Whatever way the wind blows, we don't know what we're going to do on this channel. We just take out the stockings and see which ones we want to cut. It doesn't matter much which one you want to cut, except I wouldn't use a cherry cobbler one. Like, I don't think I want to use this one right now on this card because there's not enough contrast. This one would look good because it's a old olive. But let's maybe use the one I already used or something like that because of the contrast. So we could use that one, but that would be a medium stocking. So you take your medium stocking die and you stick it down. The little handle of the stocking Fits right over the die, so you know which way to cut it. But still, you know what I'm going to say? Use painter's tape. So you're always going to still use painter's tape, even so. I'm just cutting a little piece off. Because things slip when you put them through this die cutting machine. So I'm just going to kind of wiggle that around, make sure it's centered in the stocking. It does a nice white border, but it does sometimes get off a little, but that little handle seems to, if I can get the handle right, it seems to make the whole stocking cut right. And we need platform 1, platform 2. We need to put the little platform on top. I thought since there's a nice open space on the stocking, it would be good to put sentiments right on the stocking itself too. You could stamp right onto the stocking. But I put a little star in there, so we're going to go ahead and put that through. It shouldn't be as hard to catch. See how it catches easier because it's not such a big die. Makes that little cracking noise, no big deal. And we have our little element that we're going to put on our card. Again, think contrast because I tried different colors. Oh, I love that it cuts it. And if you're thinking, yes, but you have a scan and cut, yes, it's going to cut it as well. You can use scan and cut, obviously, to cut dies, to cut things like this as well. That'll probably be pretty darn easy because there's a lot of contrast between the foreground and background. However, I have the dies, A, B. It's very hard. It's not hard to do stitching on the scan and cut. It just doesn't do as good of a job. Metal dies do a better job stitching. So for that reason, I have dies, and I use my scan and cut. I use both a lot. Okay, so that's the Stockings dies. And, you know, the others work the same way, obviously, right? So if we wanted to do, I'm just going to kind of show you that and then I'm going to pull the machine away. Or no, we don't pull the machine away yet, but I mean, we're going to do something else with the machine. So say you wanted to cut this die. See, it fits right on there. Say you wanted to cut the smaller stocking, it fits right on there. So isn't that fun? And you can cut a lot at once. I did cut 2 or 3 at once, but I tend to it's just easier and quicker just to cut like sort of one at a time. Okay, so that's good. So now we need a couple more elements for this card. We need the peace, love, and joy. I found that when you're using stamps that have, okay, this is the die. When you're using stamps like this, this is called the inspired thoughts, by the way, right? Peace, love, and joy. Because they're cling stamps, I think it's probably easier to stamp first than it is to try to cut first and try to fit this onto that shape. Okay, so I think it's easier to stamp first. That's my personal opinion. Now, I wanted to use evening for this one. I wanted to use evening evergreen because it's one of the coordinating colors. So we're going to take, I had a different stamp here. This one is mounted already, so let's pull this off. This is one I was doing called, just so if you want to know what this one is, this is another cool one. It's called Wishing You All the Beautiful Gifts of Christmas. Another great thing about the Inspired Thoughts bundle. See, and it comes out like that, just so you know. That's a really nice sentiment I was using on my experimental cards as well. Okay, I'm going to put the peace, love, and joy on there. You can actually just put it down. Here's your mat. Here's my mat, right? My silicone mat. And I can go like that. Wait, turn it upside down like that. And I can just mount it by pushing the stamping block on it. So let's do this. Let's take a little bit of, I don't have my full evening evergreen pad here with me yet because I'm traveling, but I'm using this really cool little set of re-ink stamping spots. And this was given to me as a gift during the incentive trip. And her name's Tamara Davis, and she makes these. She said in case you want to stamp on the trip. What's really nice about these new ink colors is Tamara used a laser. She said she what's it called? Laser engraved? She has a laser. Somehow she did this with she put 2021, 2023 inside this piece of foam. Is that cool or what? Laser cutter. That's what I'm trying to say. A laser cutter. So I've been using this evening evergreen, which is great for traveling. But then I thought, you know what? I'm going to use a lot of evening evergreen. So then I ended up getting another ink pad coming. So that is what I'm using, just these are called uninked stamping spots. And then you ink them up with the re-inkers, right? You ink them up yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this little piece that we just used, right, that we know works. And we're going to go ahead and, let's see. I usually stamp on a piece of scrap paper first. So we'll go ahead and stamp on the scrap paper just to make sure I have good ink coverage. See that? So I just stamp on a piece of scrap paper. Now I'm going to actually use my real paper because the real paper is a little more expensive than scrap paper, right? So you want to make sure that you're getting good ink coverage. So I'm using a little stamping spot, and we're going to stamp peace, love, and joy. Hold it there for a few seconds. It's a very light color stamp. Okay, hold your stamp there for a few seconds. It came out nice. We can go ahead and do it again down there because it did look like I slipped a little bit on the P. But that's okay. That's why you have two sides of all the papers. Two sides of your white paper you can stamp on the other side too. Okay, that's better. That one came out a little better. So we're going to take a die that's actually in our annual catalog, this little die. This little die is not part of the sneak peek. This one is just one I'm traveling with, I'm using all the time, and it's part of the Tasteful Labels dies. But look at the cool stitching in that guy. Look at the really cool stitching. What I love about this is I even saved my reverse scraps. I'm going to show you my bucket of crafty goodness. I saved the reverses of these. So if you have little rectangles, let me show you these. These are cool. I think I can use these on cards because they stitch. If you cut those little banners out of rectangles and you save the reverse, these will make nice little, I could put the sentiments on these and just put these in cards. Ink them up with some, some sponge coloring or something. All right, so we're going to do peace, love, and joy. We're going to use this little one, and we're going to put that machine back there. So we have plate 1, plate 2, put this down. And we're going to get that little piece of painter's tape. We just keep reusing the same painter's tape, but in this case I can't find it, so we'll just get another piece. And put that down. Peace, love, and joy. Now you see why it would have been really hard? Do you see what I'm talking about? It would have been really hard to try to get that centered. Normally, if I'm using photopolymer stamps, I just stamp a bunch of my shapes first, and then I try to get this to go on there. But it's harder because you can't see through this. It's going to be harder to line that up on there. So in this case, it might be better to do your sentiment first, but it's up to you. I mean, if you use your Stamparatus, right, it doesn't matter. You won't lose your position. Finding the little top plate. You won't lose your position. I'm just now flipping it over because see how it's getting warped a little? I'm flipping it over and using it this way now. Just kind of change up things when you use your little machine so that nothing gets warped. And also don't do too much die cutting at once. The friction generates heat, melting the plastic. You can't unmelt the plastic. I know there's been all kinds of tips on YouTube about how to melt your plastic plates to go back straight, but none of those have ever worked for me. I just ended up, after they get really warped, I just end up needing new plates. Okay, here's what I'm going to show you about this really cool stitching. Again, this is called the Tasteful Labels dies. See that neat little piece left over? That's pretty cool, right? And then we have this little banner that we'll use for our card. Okay, so all that's left now is that we need the 2 die cut elements. We have the stocking we have the peace, love, and joy. And now we just need this little banner here. We're going to use this little banner from this sweet Stockings Dies. And we're going to cut out the reverse page of the stockings in Evening Evergreen. And that's kind of where I got the idea, is I just had these scraps. See, I had these scraps from cutting out partial stockings. And I said, oh, those will be great for the back. Here, let's just cut around. We don't see how you have these partial stockings? So something like this. Even this one's a partial stocking, so we can go like this. Because if you're not going to get, actually that would have been an okay stocking because it just doesn't have a handle. But see, I want a little piece like this, and I want the Evening Evergreen with the stars as my background. So I stick that's the back of the stocking page. So again, the reason I figured out that this will make a cute little banner is just when I had the reverse, I just had those little scraps. So stick the little banner on there like that, and then we want to get from the sweet Stockings Dies this little star, because we're going to put the star on the stocking. Oh, and by the way, these cut out really cute in felt or in like 3D to make your stockings 3D. You can cut out these little extra elements, pop them up, and then you have little fuzzy stockings if you're using like felt or fabric. Isn't that going to be nice on the stockings? Anyway, you're going to put the stocking wherever you want. I mean, the star wherever you want. But I tried to get a star under the star. See what I tried to do? It doesn't matter if it's centered, but I tried to put the star over the top of another star, right? When you cut it out. Then you got a little star inside the star, and that looks cute too. Too bad they didn't give us more than one star, right? Because it would have been like, it's going to take a while for me to cut a lot of stars. I have something called stitch stars, though. I have a lot of stars. Okay, I'm just putting that little down like that, and now we're going to put the cover plate on. So now we're getting the rest of the elements to put the card together with. And then we're kind of pushing that through. Come on, go, go. You know what, sometimes I stagger them a bit too much. There's nothing for it to catch. So I need to stagger them not so much. Right, you need something to catch in your machine. There you go, it caught in there. So there we go, we got the little yippee, yippee skippy. We have all the elements we need. Now we can start. I think I got everything. Die cut, good. I can put the little machine away and we can start putting the card together. Show you some more sneak peeks, right? Show you some more projects. All right, so here's what I did. Now I'm gonna use, boy, that's gonna be hard to see on the background of my table, right? My table is green, that's evening evergreen. Looks like my table's evening evergreen. There's the little star. I mean, my table's getting close to evening evergreen. All right, so we need, let's put down here, I'm gonna reach for, we don't actually need this, I'm just using it as a contrast. This is just my Simply Scored. I'm just putting all the stuff here so you can see it better, rather than green on green. All right, so here's our little element. We die cut that. So now, and there's the little star, everything we need. So now we're gonna take the Sweet Stockings Designer Series paper, and we're gonna take a strip of it, and I'll show you all this paper in a minute. We're gonna, because that's part of the sneak peek. You get to see the whole stack of paper, but we're gonna take right now this piece here. Okay, so why this color and why this piece and what am I doing? So this piece here on the back, super cute, right? Look at the super cute on the back. I need strips that are gonna go, you can't just kind of put stuff, you could just put stuff on your pool party card, but I think it's better to have little strips of Designer Series paper. So I'm just doing 1-inch strips. Okay, 1-inch strips. Okay, that's that. So there's my, was it one? Yeah. There's my 1-inch strip of Designer Series paper, the other side of that paper. So what we're gonna do is take these. Now, I like to use, you know, I don't wanna just use products that you can't get your hands on. I think these are awesome. So I was looking at the coordinating colors on the back of the Sweet Stockings bundle, and I said, huh, look at this pool party card. Now, if you're familiar with Stampin' Up, these are in our annual catalog. These are called, now I'm not using this part, doesn't match at all. I'll cut these up for something else. These are the envelopes. I'm not using the hand-penned. These are called hand-penned memories and more cards and envelopes. That's what these are. I'm not using these. They do not match my project whatsoever. Not whatsoever. But you know what? This is beautiful Designer Series paper in the envelopes. I will use that for something else. These, however, look like snow to me. Not to mention it's a pool party background. Look at the pool party. This paper has pool party in it. So it has pool party and old olive, right? It has old pool party, old olive, cherry cobbler, in case you haven't figured out now why I'm using all these colors. I'm using colors that coordinate. That's why things look better together, because they coordinate. See, there's the pool party again. So that's what I'm using. So you want to take your little strips. Now you can do it two ways. You could either, sometimes I just use the trimmer. But sometimes you just want to take, like, these are my kitchen scissors. These are like the worst thing you could cut paper with. But looking for, I don't know where my paper snips went. So if I had my smaller paper snips, I probably would just lay it on here and cut the size I need, right? But instead, I'm just going to use the trimmer. So let's measure. So this card, and by the way, these cards are already made. I don't have to do anything. How great is that? The cards are already made for me. I'm trying to keep this card simple. So it's 4 1/4. See that? They're 4 1/4. They're 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. These are 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, because these are memories and more cards. So these are a little longer. But I want to make this card an A2 card. Okay, so I'm still going to keep it the 4 1/4. That's an A2 card. However, check this out. I'm going to make it an A2. I'm going to make it an A2 card. So that way I could put it in a regular envelope, and that way this is more balanced. This little element's more balanced, the candy cane we made. So now we're going to go with the 5 1/2 card. So I'm putting this down. It doesn't matter which way you put the folded paper, as long as your blade comes from there. So my blade is down below right now in my trimmer. So I'm putting the folded part below. Okay, so that when it catches on the folded part. Now, if my blade is up there, see where it's up there now, I would have cut it this way because that's my folded part. Don't try to get the blade to catch on the open part, right? You want the blade to catch on the folded part. So that's my card now. It's 4 1/4. That's all I had to do to it. Okay, you get the Memories and More card and you trim off, what is it? 3/4 of an inch? Let's see what that was, 3/4 of an inch. That's it. That's how you get your A2 card. Okay, instant, beautiful background. So now that we have the A2 card, we can decorate. Now we can make our little strips. Also 4 1/4, these little 1-inch strips that we cut. I already had one cut from before. So stick those in there. They're old olive. Oops, I'm turning it around because my paper got bent a little bit. Cut them the same size just to be consistent. And you want to push that up against the top and go 4 1/4, 4 1/4. Now lately I've been showing more steps to making cards because I've been getting asked about that. Even by some in my own team were asking me to show some more basic card techniques. So that's why I'm kind of always trying to leave the mystery out. I think, is that the one I cut? That looks too long. It must be this one. Here's the one I cut. There we go. So we're going to put those little strips like that. And let me go say hi. Oh, lots more have come in to watch me. Sorry, I'm a little shaky. My camera's a little shaky on this table. So, okay, we have a tip for reducing the cracking sound. Awesome. I love tips and tricks. Okay. So after Lori said hello from Ohio, we have Neri. Neri was from Australia. So I keep saying your name wrong. Okay, so it's Neri. Cool. And then Mary Ford is saying, hello, Mary. To reduce the cracking sound, put a die at the slight angle so it doesn't go to the roller directly. Yes, I would if there was an angle. On a big machine, you can do it as an angle more. This little machine doesn't give me much room for angles, but yes, it does help reduce the cracking sound. That's awesome. And Debbie Jorgensen just got off work and is able to join us late, which is nice. Hello, Tess from Down Under as well. And Kaz is here. And Nola's on the West Coast, so that's good. It's early for you. Well, you know I'm a night owl, so no matter where I'm at in the world, I got to be a night owl. Nola is on my team. Melody, hello. All right. You like the little extra toe and cuff pieces, Mary said. I know, aren't they fun? And hello, Tanya. Oh, corgis? Where were the corgis? She said she loves corgis. I guess these are corgis? Are these corgis? Cool. Because she said she likes the corgis. Hi, Carla. And Joyce. All right, you almost missed the live. Don't worry if you missed the live. It's always recorded. And Joanne. All right, cool. Nice to see all you guys. So what I'm doing now is I'm sticking these little pieces on there with, with just the rolling adhesive. So with the Seal. Seal Plus, right? Go like this. And you don't need it all along the, oops. You just need it on the edges more than anything. I do a little bit on the middle, but really it's about the edges not coming up. Because the candy cane itself is going to hold this down. And what I did is I used these little, what I think are snowflakes. I think this looks like snowflakes. So this is going to make me get more of this paper or more of these cards because they look like snowflakes to me. And because they're pool party. And now I know that they match my paper. Or kind of like, I noticed that later. Now that I know that, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be getting more of them. And so now, I might have to trim that off a little bit. I know somewhere on this table are those scissors. I don't want to have to use kitchen scissors and make everybody cringe. As you're like, why can't you? See, I'm traveling. I don't have, you're probably like, you only have one pair of scissors? Well, no, I only have one pair of good scissors. I have like 20 pairs of scissors in my regular craft room, right? But it's like when you're traveling, I brought one pair of the Stampin' Up paper snips, and then see how I like how these help me line it up. These dots help me line up the DSP correctly. But even though I brought all those pairs of paper snips, I mean, one pair of paper snip on the trip, I'm saying, I have a lot of pairs of paper snips. But right now I only have this one. So I'm going to have to use the good old kitchen shears to cut that off. And you see what I'm doing? Here, in case you can't see what I'm doing or why I had to do it. But look at that. Even though I measured 4 1/4, there was a little bit of extra little paper. And that will annoy me if it's not flat. So we're going to go ahead and cut it off. We're cutting off the smidgens. See that? We're cutting them off. So now it's even. So there we go. Perfect little card. Little things like that bother me, like designer shows paper sticking out the back. That bothers me. This one I put on. This is the card we're making, by the way, if you came in late. This is what I put on here. Make sure before you put it on. See, I almost put it on upside down. I want this to point up because I thought it looked like a gingerbread house. We can make all kinds of things with this shape. I can't wait to make treats out of it. Think about this. You could score it, right? Score it, fold it, put the little hole there, put a little wrap around it, and you'd have a little gingerbread house. I can't wait to make treats out of that die. But anyway, I'm leaving it flat because the only part I need dimensionals for are these parts I'm using dimensionals for. So I'm leaving that part flat. So we got your little gingerbread house made of candy canes here. Cherry cobbler stamping. Now we need our little stocking and we need our little star. And to put all those on, I used glue for the star because it was so small. Okay, and we have, I'm trying to think of what I did with the other stuff. I mean, it was just right here. See, I'm a very messy crafter. Things disappear and just, all right, well, it's okay. We'll put this on first. We'll put that guy on first while I'm looking for other things. So we're going to get some dimensionals. A bag of dimensionals. Here we go. Just using 2 Stampin' dimensionals back there on the stocking. And you can use your little, here we go. I found this one. That's good. Found that guy. Dimensional. You could use your little take your pick tool to pick that off of the back of the stocking. So that will go there. Super cute little element. And now we need the peace, love, and joy. So I was thinking, oops, that one's empty. We need this one. So when I saw this, I was like, this banner would be cute, but it's short, right? So what I did is it's short, and I thought, okay, so I'm going to cut it like that, right? I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to turn this over, put a little bit of adhesive there. So we don't want to bend the card. We need to be on a flat surface. So put a little bit of adhesive in the front and a little bit of adhesive in the back. So it's easier to do the back one first. Let that one stick out. So you want to turn it over. We'll do the back one. So you want to turn it over and you want to let it stick out the back. See what I'm doing? So you're cutting that banner and you're letting it stick out the back. Okay, so once that's straight, then it's easier to put on the back, and then you put the front on. See? You want it to just look like the banner's behind there, like an extra element, but really you cut it in half to stretch it out because it wasn't big enough to fit behind there. Of course, use whatever dies you have already. These are just like tips and tricks that I've figured out, but use whatever dies you have. Now let's see if it's straight. You can turn it over and sort of see if it's straight, which is, okay, it's pretty good. Good enough, right? Good enough. And then we're going to use dimensionals to pop that up. I'm just using dimensionals out of one of my paper pumpkin kits. So if you're wondering why do your dimensionals look gray or dark? They're not counterfeit. They are Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. It's just that they're not in the pack they come in because sometimes in the old paper pumpkin kits, they used to give you like a big giant sheet of dimensionals instead of the little square sheets we get now. So I'm putting that right here. And I wanted contrast, okay? The reason you have to do this is for contrast. If you don't want to, you don't want to just do this. You don't want to stick the little, here. You don't want to stick a white sentiment, right, on a white background. That doesn't contrast. It doesn't pop. Okay, so you want to put the little banner there so that it pops out, so that your sentiment sticks up. So there's some contrast between the foreground and the background. And then to tie in that last element, you're going to get that little star. And we just may have to get another star out of our bucket of crafted goodness. If there's another star in here, we may have to cut another star. Here's another star. Here we go. That'll work. Because we lost the star I started with. Here's another star. Oh, here's the star. It's over there. Okay, either way. You need to just put some glue on there for your star. Because good luck trying to get a glue dot behind there. And good luck trying to get a tiny dimensional behind there. Because even the mini dimensionals are... Oh, I guess it's time to buy some new glue. Anticipation. You guys familiar with the ketchup commercial? when you're waiting for the ketchup to come out. That's what they used to sing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look how much glue just came out. All right, don't use that much glue. When I used to teach the crafting club kids, I used to say, you know, just a dot, not a lot. So now we need to get some extra glue up. There we go. Get rid of all that extra glue. You only want a little dot there. Now, even though it dries clear. And voila, the final element. Stay. This glue is such a messy glue. It's kind of a messy glue. Okay, but it'll dry clear. But it gets kind of sticky all over everything. There you go. So that's the card. Now I know you want to see I know you want a sneak peek of all the paper now and the other projects I made with this stockings. So that's what we just made. Oh, I forgot to add oops, glue got on there. And now one of my stockings just got wet, but that's okay. That's what embellishments are for. So now I'm using metallic pearls. Again, I would probably use let's see, we'll use the gold metallic pearls. You can use bigger embellishments if you make mistakes and cover them up. Just throw 3 of those on there. 3 or 5 or some kind of odd number. Oops, one already got stuck down there. So now we'll just, here, that's good. So a few little metallic pearls. And then I could also like put something on the candy cane that got smeared a little bit. And there's the final elements for the card. I forgot about the metallic pearls. My metallic pearls have seen better days. They kind of got a little crushed when I was trying to pack them up. See, they started slipping around. I think it's from the heat they started slipping around. All right, so let's show you the rest of this stuff. So if you just came on, we are looking at some holiday product sneak peeks here. We're doing, so Nola's saying, how am I getting my June paper pumpkin? I'm just getting it in the mail, that's all. I didn't get it yet though. I didn't get it in the mail yet. But I did mail it to myself here. Okay, and let's see. She's saying she just got her paper pumpkin today, which will be another project soon, right? If I get that, I'll be like binge paper pumpkin crafting. So that's what we're talking about. It's kind of a separate thing. It's another Stampin' Up product. Okay, so after that we saw, oops, I'm gonna scroll down here. This is why I can't walk and chew gum here. I can't see the comments, you know, while I'm trying to craft. All right, we're just gonna move on. So what we did is I showed you this piece. So what we're gonna do is show you now the Sweet Stockings Designer Series paper. I'm gonna open up the pack of that. I haven't sorted it out yet, like every other page flipped over. So we're just gonna see. I even have some scraps going on. So this is the Sweet Stockings Designer Series paper. Okay, so we will it's basic black, bumblebee, cherry cobbler. So you saw me using cherry cobbler. You saw me using, okay, cinnamon cider is another color, evening evergreen, old olive, and pool party. Okay, now you look at all those colors and now you know why I used 4 coordinating colors: pool party, old olive, evening evergreen ink, and cherry cobbler. I used 4 of the designers of the colors that coordinate in there. You see? So this is one piece here. This is the doggies, hamsters, hamster, mice, doggies, kitties, right? All this stuff in the little stocking. So that's one of the pieces. And the other side of the piece looks like this. Pretty cool, right? Like frilly little patterns. And then I was cutting the 1-inch strips. I don't want to cut too much of this apart yet because I don't know how I'm going to use it. Super cute. Doggies, kitties, and the presents. Okay, and the other side of that one is this cherry cobbler piece. That's the other side of that piece. Pretty cool. Okay, this is, yep, kitties wearing antlers and doggies. Cherry cobbler. Background, super cute. So these would also make good 1-inch strips. But I didn't use these 1-inch strips for this card because I needed something to contrast with the cherry cobbler already. That's why I used the old olive 1-inch strips. Okay, I'll put that over there. We have, next piece is the evening evergreen. You saw this piece already. I was cutting this up. And this is the other side of that is the stockings. So you saw how I used those with the die cuts and I cut out these stockings. So you saw how I did that. And you saw how I used the back of that piece. So I'm probably going to save this piece, but I'm probably going to keep on cutting the stockings until I run out of stockings. In my bucket of crafty goodness, just cut them out to see what to do. This is cute with the little goldfish. The kitty looks like she's ready to pounce on that goldfish. And I guess that's your corgi. You were talking about your corgis. And there's the other side of that piece. You saw me use that piece. This is Pool Party. And the other side of this one is, what is that with it? Lights. Christmas lights. Okay, oh, Bumblebee, Old Olive, Cherry Cobbler. Okay, so now that's the paper, and I've already showed you the dies. Okay, I know you want to see a couple more things. There is something called, I'm just showing you some sneak peeks now. Nothing to do with this project, I'm just showing you a sneak peek of something. And nothing to do with this project here, but it does have to do with the holiday catalog. I just thought I need to show you this, because in case some of you are ready to pre-order, like my team, we're allowed to pre-order soon, maybe in a week or so. And you might be wondering, this pretty pillow box dies, how big do they come out? How big do the pretty pillow box dies come out? And even by looking at this, you can't really tell. So I want to show you one that I made with the Beauty of the Earth paper, and see how small it is. It's super cute, but it actually makes me like it more because it's smaller than I thought. So with this one die, and I did stump off the edge because of the machine I was trying to use. I did stump off the edge, so it is curly. I mean, it doesn't have a little stump, but this is just my sample, and I'm going to probably put a belly band around it. So when in this kind of die, pretty pillow box die, you're going to glue the sides, and sort of then you're going to load stuff through the top. Unlike other pillow boxes, you could probably glue this and leave one of the sides open. But to me, I thought it was easier to glue the sides and let that be your opening for your treats, right? And then you put that on in like a belly band that you slip off. I think that's going to be easier. This is called Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper. I was just playing around with it and this new die. Okay, now some more products that I made. So I made this one. This one is wishing you all the beautiful gifts of Christmas. And to do that, you learned all the skills how to make this card just now. We used all the same skills. I stamped this in Cherry Cobbler. I used the Hippo and Friends dies, which are in the annual catalog, to cut out the sentiment. And you saw this paper is the Sweet Stocking Designer Series paper. I did ink the edges a little for dimension because I was using an Old Olive background. And I did ink the edges a little bit of this little strip of paper, but it's that same little strip. It's the same little strip of paper like the Old Olive paper, just for contrast. And then I think this is probably still my favorite ribbon. I'm trying to decide. I don't think I've found any ribbon I like as much as this. So I guess it is my favorite ribbon still. My absolute favorite ribbon. It's been around for a while. It's still in the annual catalog. And it is called, and it makes every project look awesome. And it also ships flat. So you can make little tags out of this with this ribbon. It's called glittered organdy ribbon. Black glittered organdy ribbon. Okay, so that's what that is. I just tucked it around the sides and then some little metallic gems. Such a simple, easy card. Okay, so that's another sneak peek. Now this other sneak peek, I know you're gonna, I was trying to go for, here's the crumb cake background, and I was going for some other designer series paper. I thought, I'm still gonna use the Sweet Stockings. Got a little tab there. Sweet Stocking, some metallic gems. Hippo and Friends. However, I thought, oh, let me try some other designer series paper from the catalog that's new. And so here's the paper, and it is called Gingerbread and Peppermint. And I just cut some scraps out of that. Gingerbread and Peppermint paper. Is that awesome paper or what? Super fun. And this one, it comes in 6x6 sheets. So it's already cut for you to 6x6. And there's 12 different designs. And a lot of them look similar. Like this looks very similar, but there's 12 different, or more than 12 different designs. 12 different pieces of paper, and each one of them is two-sided. So there's really more than 12. That would be 24 designs? I don't know. I'm thinking that would be 24 designs, because look at all these are different. And all I have is 12 sheets of this, because I didn't actually win this paper. I won some Halloween paper, which I'll sneak peek another time. I won some Halloween paper, and then what I did is I traded for others that hadn't won, you know, they didn't get the Halloween paper, and so they got this paper, gingerbread paper, and I said, oh, I'll trade with them. Right now I'm just trying to give you a sneak peek of some Christmas stuff, because I don't want to muddy the waters by showing you the fall stuff, Christmas stuff. Okay, there's some paint. That was another paper, just so you know what it is. Now I'm going to show you a sneak peek of the Painted Christmas. And I'm leaving it in the pack because I'll do some projects with this and show you it better at another time. But this is awesome, Painted Christmas. Right, more designer series paper. And this was all like literally left on our bed. They're called pillow gifts. Like a lot of this paper was left on our bed, or it was a prize when we went on the incentive trip. They gave us these gifts. Like, who doesn't love random crafts left on your pillow, or left on your bed, I should say. It's called a pillow gift, but they leave it on your bed. And so that was back in May, and I'm just finally getting to play with it now. I'm not going over all the coordinating colors of this one yet because I haven't really done anything with it. It's been in the package the whole time. And I haven't played with it yet, but I can't wait. I'm thinking you can make your own designer series paper with the stamps from this one to sort of match this paper here. I'm thinking you could make your own designer series paper like that using this stamp set from the Painted Christmas Suite. So that's a little sneak peek. This is a photo polymer stamp. And I did correct the case in shipping, but you can get new stamp cases. Pretty nice. It's called a distinctive stamping because it has little speckles like shading. I haven't played with it yet, but I can't wait to play with the Painted Christmas. And lastly, I think I'm done showing you my Christmas papers. I do have another fall and Halloween paper. I'll show you the last couple of things for the sneak peek, and then I'm going to end. Okay, so this is called Well Defined. I'm not sure if I love it yet. I didn't really like the definition idea, but then once I read the definitions, I thought, well, they're cute. I like the definition, so I actually cute because it says Halloween. When taking candy from strangers is good and dressing normally is strange. See, I like the funny definitions. And then this one was a sweet definition. Christmas, the time of year where the presence of family is better than the presents from family. So this I could use on like a lot of cards. Just this one here. So these ended up growing on me. Not the style. I wasn't happy with the style of it. But then once I read the actual definitions, they were fun. And lastly, I'm going to show you the seasonal labels dies because these are pretty cool. These go with the Painted Christmas. Okay, back to this. So this is Painted Christmas Suite. I pretty much have the suite now. There's probably something else in this suite, some kind of embellishment. But I pretty much have the whole suite because they gave us this in different times. Like, so these will go, these are going to go with the, say, these dies here, seasonal labels dies, are going to go with the Painted Christmas Designer Series paper, Painted Christmas stamp set. And you have these extra little doohickums, these little guys that you can make little holes in your tags if you want. But I tend to not put holes in all my tags because I'm not sure until the end. I mean, you can put the holes in the tags later, but I'm not sure if I'm going to need the holes, so I don't go ahead and put them in right away. But you can always make your hole for your tag later at another time. All right, so I hope you enjoyed these sneak peeks and the 3 projects. Where are they at? Got to sum up. Okay. We amuse ourselves sometimes. I just amuse myself and just laugh at myself. Here we go. Hope you enjoyed. See my messy table. Creating a card using products from the new upcoming holiday catalog. The candy cane background stamp. Sweet Stockings Designer Series paper that I showed you. Gingerbread and Peppermint, I showed you a little sneak peek of that. More Candy Canes Designer Series paper. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the sneak peeks of that. And I hope you see how you can use products from our annual catalog in combination with products from our new holiday catalog to create some amazing projects. This glittered organdy ribbon, this Hippo and Friends dies, this stamp set that we used, Inspired Thoughts. That's from the annual catalog. You can get these now. So a lot of what I use you can get now. You can get glittered organdy ribbon. You can get the cardstock I used. You can get this. You can get cherry cobbler ink and be ready. You can be ready for when this comes. Okay, for when this comes out, whether you're a demonstrator or not. So just to sum up, we have a holiday catalog coming out. I just want to talk about this is coming out. Even though it says July to December, it's not coming out till August to shipping delays. So, but right now, until the end of June, you can still get last chance items from this catalog here, the mini catalog. So you can still order stuff online. And this one's here is good for a year, the annual catalog. So we'll always have 2 catalogs carrying at any one time, except for the month of, hold on, July. Except for the month of July, okay? Just so you understand what's going on. During the month of July, we're only going to have this catalog current. That's all will be current. Because this one is current till June, and this one's not coming back until December. So, or this one's not coming out till December. So that's what we're going to have for that 1 month. You'll be able to get anything you want out of here, which is still pretty awesome. Right? Thank you all for joining me. And those that joined in late, this is the Papered Chef, and I hope to make some more projects with the holiday catalog. Mary saying, don't forget to thumbs up the video. I forget to tell people that all the time, Mary, so thank you for telling people that. Don't forget to like, thumbs up the video if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you're new here, because I do all kinds of impromptu, unplanned, never know what's going to happen, paper crafting. That's all for now. This is the Papered Chef.